Bros here. I wanted to go over how to carry an optic as an everyday carry. We'll go over a little bit about the Deltapoint Pro. Obviously, I have here a Glock 19 MOS. It was ready for optic out of the box. A little bit what I did to it, I got a hoe grip, extended mag release. But I want to also go over the pros and cons of carrying with an optic. I'll start with the pros first. The first time I went out to the range and I shot with it, I have never been so accurate. I mean, compared to even the people next to me, it was day and night. I can never shoot as well as I did with just iron sights than I did with my Deltapoint. I'm sure the RMR could do the same. We'll go over that in a second here. But I mean, it was day and night better. I could shoot whatever I want. I would say another plus to it is, especially with the Deltapoint, I couldn't find that much information about the battery life, but I have been carrying this for 4 weeks today, and I only turned it off once just to figure out how. But once I did, I just kept it on. It'll shut off 5 minutes, as long as you don't touch it. So if you just leave it on your shelf, it'll turn off until you pick it back up. But it was my everyday carry. But how I carried it was probably the biggest point of everything. I carried it as an appendix carry. I wouldn't recommend like towards the hip, especially with this optic, because you're gonna have to mess with the intensity of the light. So in the daytime, I believe it goes to 7 notches of how bright the dot goes. So in the daytime, you want it as bright as you possibly could be, or 6 or 7 is fine. But at night, when it starts to turn dusk and it gets to nighttime, you really want to mess with the lighting, and you want to be able to do so, you know, whether you're sitting, standing, and not be so obvious. That's why I did appendix carry for this one, because there are not that many holsters for optics, and this one was not intended, I believe, for an optic. But when I saw it and I saw the placement of just like a normal iron sight gun on it, I figured it would fit an optic on it. And that is the Gen 1 Nate Tactical. Now I'm left-handed, and so it would sit like this as appendix carry. And once it goes in, you see where it stops. The optic's not messing with it. And when I'm carrying it, it's carried like this. Now the button is right here. So when my shirt is over it, right here, I can mess with the intensity just by pushing through the shirt. So I'll go down like maybe 1, 2 for dusk, so I should be sitting at maybe 4. And then maybe I'll do 1 more for like nighttime, 1 or 2 more just in case. And that's how I carry it. Now if it was back here on the back of my hip, that means I would have to reach all the way around my hip just to mess with the intensity. Now, I think there's a better optic if you wanted to carry it on your hip. I still agree with this holster. This holster could be fitted any way. You can see how it's kind of deformed. That's why it's hitting my leg. But it's comfortable. I can't complain with it at all. But if you want to carry it on your hip, I would recommend getting the Trijicon RM01, where it has auto sensitivity, where as soon as it comes in the day, it will adjust automatically. So there are optics that could do that. But this is my choice for the holster. I think it would fit anything. This is a compact size. If you wanted a Glock 17 MOS, they have a larger size for it. But going over the cons of carrying with an optic, this is kind of ghetto rigged a little bit because it doesn't have suppressor sights coincides with the optic. I just didn't get that far yet. But carrying with the optic, it gets super dusty. Like I'm like probably every other evening, I'm wiping this lens out with a Q-tip, trying to get all the dust out of it from whatever falls off your shirt or wherever it comes from. I don't know. But you're constantly cleaning it, and I think that Trijicon RMR01 would do pretty well as a appendix carry as well, because you don't have to mess with it at all. Where this one you're constantly adjusting it, which you would do if you had RM06, but it would not work with this holster because the RM06 has a button on this side and a button on this side, but you can't get to this side. There's only one option. So I think the Deltapoint Pro or the Tritium Run RMR or the RM01 would be the only optics that would work for this particular holster, which that's a lot to choose from, but it does get dusty. And there is a weight difference. As soon as you put it on, if you carried a Glock 19 for a while, or a Glock 17, whatever, there is a weight difference. You can feel it. But just keep that in mind. All in all, I would highly recommend carrying with the optic. It is so nice to have. It's almost reinsurance. I think pistol designs is going this way anyways. I think they'll always have irons, but just how, you know, red dots became so natural on ARs, but they still had those irons. I think that's how, you know, the pistol setting is going to go. But we'll go over more left-handed pistol materials. Obviously, we're kind of at a loss here, especially with pistols. Everything's meant for right-handed, which is totally understandable. I totally get that. But we'll go over more about that. But like I said, I would definitely recommend carrying with the optic. I love it. I would probably just switch from my Deltapoint to the RMR 01. That's probably the only change I would do, and then that's one of the reasons why I didn't get the suppressor sights, because I had an idea I was going to change it anyways. But yeah, I would do that. I would highly recommend it. If this video was any help to you at all, if you learned anything, if you want to know more, press that subscribe button. We appreciate the support, and this is a very new channel for us. This is something new for the both of us, but we feel like something was missing, and we want to just add to the YouTube community. We thank you for watching.
It's so